Tom Bombadil, the eternal riddle and legend of Middle-earth. In Middle-earth, the origins, nature, and purpose of most characters are clearly defined. Elves, Valar, Maiar, men, dwarves, hobbits. Each has a role in the great song of creation. But there is one name that defies all classification. There is one character who puzzles everyone who reads the works of J.R.R. Tolkien, Tom Bombadil. He is neither a hero nor a villain, neither a king nor a member of any race. Anyone who attempts to define him eventually finds themselves standing at the edge of mystery, immune to the power of the ring, sovereign over the land he inhabits, all-knowing yet never intervening. Bombadil remains the greatest enigma at the heart of Middle-earth. He was there before anything else. Through Bombadil's own words, Tolkien writes, "I was here before the rain, before the paths and the rivers. I was here before the elves, before the dwarves, and even before men awoke." This places him at the very beginning of time and creation. According to the myth of Middle-earth, everything began when Ilúvatar had the Ainur, holy beings, perform a great song. From that song came Arda, the world itself. Yet Tom Bombadil is neither Ainur nor Maya. His name does not appear in the song of creation. Nowhere in Tolkien's works is it definitively stated that he has divine origins. And yet, his own words and the reverence others show him make it clear. He is no ordinary being. From toy to literary myth, Tom Bombadil was originally inspired by a toy doll owned by Tolkien's daughter. When the toy was lost, Tolkien began composing poems about it. These poems were eventually collected in a small book titled The Adventures of Tom Bombadil. But in Tolkien's imagination, Tom didn't remain just a child's fantasy. Over time, he became one of the most profound metaphors in all of Middle-earth. He appears in The Lord of the Rings as one of the most unique and enigmatic characters the hobbits encounter. This transformation is a rare example of how a simple toy figure evolved into a mythic symbol. Tom Bombadil's realm, Middle-earth's neutral zone. Tom Bombadil lives on the edge of the old forest, near the Barrow Downs. He shares his home with Golberry, the river spirit he calls his wife. Their house offers eternal peace, untouched by the dangers of the outside world. The sun always shines, evil spirits cannot enter, and even the power of the ring is nullified there. When the hobbits are captured by Old Man Willow, a malevolent tree within the old forest, Tom appears and calms the ancient tree with nothing but his words and songs. He doesn't destroy it or try to change its nature. Instead, he draws a line, setting boundaries, not eradicating evil. This shows his deep respect for nature and his passive yet conscious way of intervention. Resistance to the ring, complete immunity. When given the One Ring, Tom Bombadil is entirely unaffected. He does not turn invisible, his mind remains clear, and he feels no desire to possess it. He tosses it in the air, slips it on like any ordinary ring, and casually returns it. This demonstrates absolute immunity to a power crafted directly by Sauron, a fact that even Gandalf finds astonishing. Yet the idea of entrusting the ring to Tom is rejected because of his detachment. He would simply put it aside and forget it. To Tom, flowers, trees, and rivers matter more than domination or power. He may be immune to power, but he is also indifferent to responsibility. This leads many to believe Tolkien is conveying a deeper message. True virtue is not in having power, but in not needing it at all. When Frodo offers him the ring, Tom takes it without hesitation, tosses it in the air, pretends to lose it, even places it on his finger, yet nothing happens. He does not vanish, his power does not increase, and he feels no temptation. To him, the ring is just a piece of metal. When Frodo takes the ring back, it still works, proving that its power remains intact. And that leads to one of the greatest questions in Tolkien's legendarium. Why is Tom Bombadil unaffected by the ring when it corrupts everyone else? It's a question that even Tolkien himself never fully answered. But the countless theories it inspired only deepen the mystery and complexity of Bombadil's character. How about Goldberry, river spirit, or Maya? Tom's wife, Goldberry, is known as the daughter of the river. She speaks in a poetic rhythm, her voice is enchanting, and her beauty leaves the hobbits mesmerized. In literary terms, Goldberry resembles the naiads of Greek mythology, spirits of freshwater streams and springs. Like Tom, Goldberry feels like a part of nature itself. Their marriage can be seen as the union of earth and water, a symbolic reflection of life itself, moving spirit, water, and anchored wisdom, earth. Goldberry, though described as the river's daughter, is just as enigmatic as Tom. Very little is known about her origins, and like Tom, she never ventures beyond their peaceful domain. Tolkien envisioned her as a river spirit, a gentle, mystical figure whose speech is filled with song, even within the quiet of her own home. She is so radiant that the hobbits are left spellbound in her presence. Yet she remains a being of serenity and limits, never stepping beyond her borders. Her relationship with Tom represents a harmonious union between nature and soul. Their love is deep yet humble, and together they create one of the most peaceful places in all of Middle-earth, a home into which darkness cannot enter. Tolkien's deliberate silence. Tolkien never gave a clear explanation about who or what Tom Bombadil truly is. In fact, in one of his letters he wrote, "Tom Bombadil is meant to be mysterious. He is not important for the narrative, but he gives the world a sense of completeness." This literary technique is common in mythology. Some figures are meant to remain undefined because the human mind seeks meaning by filling in the blanks. Tom Bombadil is such a blank. He may be Tom itself, the voice of nature, or even the spirit of the music from which the world was born. But one thing is certain, he is not an answer, he is a question. Tolkien never fully responded to the frequent question, who is Tom Bombadil? In another letter he wrote, "Some characters must remain enigmatic in fairy stories. Tom Bombadil is one of them." This was a deliberate narrative choice. Tolkien chose not to define Bombadil because his mystery adds mythological depth to the story, and that mystery strengthens the magic of Middle-earth. Is Tom Bombadil a god? According to some theories, Tom Bombadil is a reflection of Eru Ilúvatar, a divine representation of the one who existed before time, who never directly interferes, yet knows all things. However, not everyone agrees with this interpretation. Tom's behavior is far removed from the majesty and solemnity of Eru. He is humorous, playful, whimsical, and at times even careless. In this sense, he acts more like nature itself than a god above it. Tom Bombadil's home lies on the edge of the old forest, near the Barrow Downs, a place so sacred and protected that even dark forces cannot enter. His presence is so powerful that even the Nazgul dare not approach. When the hobbits arrive at his home, Tom welcomes them with warmth. His table is generous, his speech is full of poetry, and he gives them a sense of safety and peace. Yet Tom's power is limited to his own domain. Even Gandalf acknowledges this in the book. Beyond his borders, Tom would not be able to stop Sauron. This is why the idea of giving him the One Ring is ultimately dismissed. For if Sauron were to conquer all of Middle-earth, he would eventually reach Bombadil's land as well. And then, what would Tom do? As he himself says, I have my own things to mind. Literary and mythological representations. Tom Bombadil also has rich archetypal parallels. In Jungian psychology, such figures are often called the wise old man, but Tom fits more closely with the divine child archetype, a being who does not fight, does not change the world, but simply accepts what is and lives in harmony with the rhythm of nature. In mythology, he has been compared to gods like Pan, Loki, or even Bacchus, figures who are deeply connected to nature, existing outside the structured order, yet somehow remaining central to the essence of the world. His absence in the film adaptation. Peter Jackson chose not to include Tom Bombadil in the Lord of the Rings film trilogy. The reason lies in the narrative structure of cinema, where every scene must directly serve the story. Including Bombadil would have slowed down the plot and distracted viewers from the central arc. Yet his absence left a noticeable gap. The loss of one of the oldest beings in Middle-earth. In the book, it is through Tom that Frodo ultimately acquires the dagger that will wound the Witch King of Angmar. In the film, this role is transferred to Aragorn, thereby diminishing Bombadil's indirect contribution to Sauron's downfall. Jackson explained his decision as follows. Bombadil doesn't advance the story. He has little to do with the ring. In filmmaking, every scene must move the plot forward. The Bombadil scene would have slowed everything down. Though many fans were disappointed, it was a technical and narrative choice. The moral message, indifference to power. Tom Bombadil embodies Tolkien's attitude toward power. Written after World War II, The Lord of the Rings champions not the struggle for power, but the virtue of not desiring it at all. Tom's indifference to the ring, his reverence for nature, his refusal to rule or control. These are all reflections of Tolkien's deep moral philosophy. Tom's greatest strength is that he never seeks power at all. The endless allure of the unknown. Tom Bombadil is too ancient to explain, yet too powerful to ignore. He is perhaps the least explored and most discussed character in all of Tolkien's works. He is a mystery, and some mysteries become more valuable not when solved, but when experienced. He might be time, nature, or the spirit of the song. But one thing is certain. When nothing else was, Tom Bombadil was.